Hello everybody and welcome to episode 188 of the Next Gen Basecast, and this is a bit of a special one, primarily as you can probably see us now, as opposed to just hearing us. That waving like a madman for the benefit of the audio listeners is Andy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, mate. Do you know what? It's really good to actually have some visuals for a change. It's been a long time since we've in-person podcasted, so this is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Get
then
to look at your face.
oh God, do I have to? My unkempt beardy face.
Look, we're all a bit unkempt and beardy at the minute.
Yeah.
Even Nico.
Nico's beard is looking. Nico's beard's looking fierce. I was
going to say I did a little trim. It's not perfect because I'm not a barber, but I tried to give it a little thing.
Mine's the weekend.
It's okay, we don't blame you.
When you say the weekend, do you mean like the end of the week or the weekend?
That's what I'm doing at the weekend.
Right, okay. Got you.
The entire weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that's how long it takes.
So yeah, I mean, obviously this is sort of... we've discussed it before. We actually did do a live podcast for a while on video, which was...
It was properly live as well.
It was actually full on live. We actually
put it live. We streamed it.
We did, podcast. And it was a lot of work. It really was.
That was a bit of a mistake. At least you can edit around any horrible things that any of us are going to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, primarily you.
I was going to say Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, at least Johnny's not on the pilot episode.
Johnny's not here to make his sweeping
generalizations.
Sweeping generalizations. That's what I was looking for.
So yeah, I mean, it's how are we all doing? Christmas has been and gone. New Year has been and gone. American democracy has been and gone.
Hey, political.
What else is there? I mean, Nico, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm not thrilled by the news that 1 in 30 people in London has it. I don't know if I'm saying the word, but so I'm going to squarely stay in this room and lock all the doors.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, all good. Back to work. Back to getting things done. But good. Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff. And Andy, are you well?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm stuck in a house with everybody and having to, make sure that 2 kids get their schooling done and also do jobs. Make a living. It's like
stress is enough to make your hair fall out, Andy.
Yeah. Hey, because I've not got any anyway. It's funny.
So
no, it's just a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a horrible time for everybody at the moment. So obviously UK's back in full on lockdown. So basically, the way we get around it all is play lots of video games. What we've been playing?
Unless you've got 2 kids who need schooling.
Okay, so Andy's not been playing anything.
I have been playing a bit.
Go on, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, I got for Christmas, I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, my PS5, which I've been playing, and it's very good. It's one of the best Assassin's Creed games for a long time. It feels more like it's been pared back to the games pre-Odyssey and Origins. That kind of slightly smaller feeling. And certainly sort of like the mechanics, like the climbing and stuff, feel like they've been taken from the earlier games. It's not quite as free-flowing as like Odyssey was in particular, which was like, if there is a surface, you may climb it, regardless of whether it appears there's handhelds or not. But it's also got sort of that open world feel of the last couple of games. And yeah, it's good. It looks really good on the PS5 as well. Runs at a nice solid 60, which is... I'm glad I waited a few patches for that because, to all intents and purposes, it was a bit terrible when it launched.
I think the PS5 was a bit smoother. I think the PS5,
was it?
PS5 seemed to be. The Series X was a bit. It was a bit ropey in places, which I think that was what confused people because they were like, "Well, hang on, the Series X is supposed to be
the best,
the best of the best." So but I think there's been patches either side, so it looks pretty good now.
No, it's really good. It runs really nicely. It's nice to play an Assassin's Creed game in 60, and it's got a good story, which I'm looking forward to getting stuck into a bit more. I've been playing a bit of Immortals: Phoenix Rising as well. I picked that up in the recent sale that there was, and that's really good. It's a really good game. So, do you remember Starlink that came out a few years back?
Yes.
Which was kind of here's some toy stuff, but with an Ubisoft twist, but that the kids can play.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of does a similar thing. It's like, here's kind of some of the Ubisoft tropes, and we've distilled them down into a tighter, more sort of family-friendly game.
Okay.
Where you don't have to stab people in the face all the time. And it's good. It's got that sort of Greek mythology twinge to it. It's funny as well. It's got a sort of a witty script, and bizarrely shares a few voice actors with Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well. So coming straight off the back of that and playing that is a bit weird. Sort of hearing Socrates voicing Zeus and stuff like that. But no, it's a good game.
Cool,
good fun, and again, looks really nice on a PS5. What else have I been playing? I've been playing some games. I started getting into Stadia a bit, which is a weird thing. Nico's smiling away.
I'll leave you two to discuss this.
I just think it's a solid platform. That's all.
Do you know what? I agree with you with a lot of caveats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was when it's the fact that it kind of hit iPads a few weeks back. They brought out the browser version to play on iPads. So I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to try that. I'm going to spin up Destiny. I'm going to have a go, see how it runs. Runs really well. Started playing a bit of Destiny on it. Yeah, it was all right. So just after Christmas, though, I noticed that I had a 3-month trial for Stadia Pro as part of my Google One subscription. So I was like, do you know what? Let's give it a go. After Christmas as well, there was a bunch of sales. So I picked up Far Cry 5 and the original, not the original, but the 2017 Doom. When did Doom come out?
Oh, 2016.
2016.
Yeah, Doom's 2016.
It was sort of around there. So I picked up those for like sort of £5 each and thought, do you know what? It's worth a punt. Never played Far Cry 5, never finished Doom. And having them to hand on a platform that I can just literally pick up my tablet or my phone, or if I've got some downtime at work, spin up the app on my Mac and just kind of sit and have a little.
Your employers don't listen to this, do they, Andy?
Oh, they might do, but it's no. They know I do my work. It's fine. I'm not playing games while I'm supposed to actually be working. It's like when I'm having my lunch and stuff like that. Yeah,
we'll put a disclaimer. We'll put a disclaimer in the edit down there. Yeah.
Damn you. But anyway, it's just nice to be able to know that, and I think this is something I've got used to with the PS5. It's just the fact that games are just there. When you turn the machine on, you've not got time to think. Your games are there, and Stadia is kind of the same. And performance-wise, I've kind of not had that many issues with it. Doom runs at a solid 60. Far Cry annoyingly runs at 30, which is really weird. Which I kind of thought it would be using, but it looks really nice. It feels like it's kind of got the graphics up to really high, but it's capped out at 30, which is slightly annoying because I kind of quite like that to have run at 60. But it's nice to just sort of have that instantaneous sort of ability to play games. Quality-wise is good. It's not the same as playing a game natively. Obviously it's never going to be, you're going to get artifacts in. Response time is great. I tried like on live and what was the other one? Gaikai.
Yeah.
When they were things, and I remember trying to play, I think it was Dirt 2 was one of the games on it at the time, and it was horrible. Like there was seconds of delay in between pushing a button and actually having it do anything.
Yeah.
So to have come from there to something like Stadia, it's platform-wise, it's really good, but
it's Google.
It's too damn expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously expensive. Now that the games have gone back up in price and there's no sale titles at all on it, you look at the price of the games and you're like, oh, that's awful. That game's just so old and you're charging 20, 30 quid for it. That's just crazy. The monthly games, I don't feel are entirely worth the premium price that they're asking. I think if they were offering more like a Game Pass style scenario, it would be a better deal for that monthly subscription.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing with Stadia is that it's that whole business model of having, here is a really good platform, but we're going to charge you full price for the games. So, well, I get that, but with Google's history of stuff, what are the odds that 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the line, if it's not going very well, why, are they just going to pull the plug? Because that's what Google have done in the past.
I think the thing, when you look at sort of like, you compare the prices on, say, Nintendo eShop and Xbox Live and PlayStation Network to Stadia. When you look at new releases, you're still paying RRP on those platforms.
Yeah.
Those platforms, however, always have something on sale. There's always a sale. It's a big enough library on those platforms that there's always something on offer. So even if you haven't got something fresh in your library to play, there's maybe something that you might want to check out that's kind of got a bit of a deep discount on it. With Stadia, the library's so shallow, it almost feels like a sale is a rarity on it.
Yeah,
well, I think
it's a real shame, because it is a genuinely good platform, but I think it's been stymied a bit.
I mean, I think that the problem for me is that I think you said you've also tried GeForce Now.
I did try GeForce Now, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've tried GeForce Now as well, and now that similar to Stadia, it's got web apps for iOS. I've actually been able to try it on the go, and GeForce Now works really well. And the best thing about that is I don't have to buy anything else.
No, and I think the good thing about GeForce Now, like you say, is because it syncs up to your Steam library, and obviously you play in an Epic Games for what it's worth. I don't think there's a lot on the Epic Games selection other than like Fortnite.
I mean, to be fair,
there's
I'm not
Metro Exodus as well.
Possibly. I haven't really looked at a huge amount of games that are on there, but like it will hook into your Steam library, and like you say, all the libraries, and it will show you the games that you have available. Yeah.
The problem that I have with GeForce Now though is I was on it when it had the founders plan. I think Nico, you kind of got me onto that. That was and it was it was an incredible platform when it was on that kind of initial launch plan. It had loads of games on it. Most of the stuff in my Steam library was available on it, and that has whittled itself gradually down to 40 of the titles that I really am not that fussed about playing in my Steam library. And the wait times now, like 250 people in the queue for a free access the other day, and it's like, if there was more games, I would be that pay bothered. The monthly subscription.
See, I've currently got
premium access, but
I've currently got a year of Pro.
Nice.
I've got a year of Pro because of when I bought my graphics card. I got a
free,
I got a free year included with my 3080. So it's, in one respect, it's great because that's an option that's available. And if I want to play games when I'm away, I can do. But outside of really demoing it, I've not felt the need to do it. So I don't think that me paying that £10 a month or however much it is, I don't think it'd be worth it to me.
No.
With the exception of having my whole library available. It's sort of heavy inverted commas, but
it's a funny thing because obviously then you've got remote play that seems to be getting much better for Xbox and PlayStation as well. So if you have, I mean, obviously this is, I suppose, Stadia's demo with people who don't have consoles, but if you do and you're looking for something supplementary, remote play is not as bad as it previously was. So
I think the big game changer as well. We're kind of moving on from what we've been playing to have a little chat about streaming now, really, aren't we? But I think the game changer is going to come when Game Pass streaming becomes more widespread in spring. Is when it's coming. That's coming to iOS and Windows and Mac, isn't it? Through the apps.
That's true.
Yeah,
and I think that could be a bit of a game changer because I play a little bit of Game Pass streaming on my phone. It's not always great for a phone screen, but it works reasonably well.
I mean, I think
playing a bit of Forza is pretty cool.
The thing for that is that's going to be the game. I think that is going to be the key thing because for that you will be able to get Game Pass for a tenner a month or whatever it is for Ultimate, and then you'll have access to all those games, including like Gears, Halo, Forza,
Destiny,
Destiny, I guess. But like you have access to like over 100 games there and then.
Yeah.
And I think Phil Spencer's said recently that they're toying with the idea of maybe having almost like an Amazon Fire Stick kind of device.
Yeah.
That they'll probably be able to sell with a controller for £55.
I saw that, which I think would be huge.
If they do that, if they make a loss on the dongle itself, and say, right, there you go, there's a dongle. Even if they said, £70 with 3 months Game Pass and a controller and a dongle, you're going to get people involved at that point. And then I think it's at that stage people will start to play those games and then go, oh, maybe I should get one of these Xbox
Maybe I should get an
things.
Xbox.
And then
the cool thing,
as I say, I think I'm suspecting you might be possibly coming onto it, is where your saves, your achievements, everything there, it'll just roll straight in as soon as you power on an Xbox.
It's a platform that comes with you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I'm playing Forza on my 4K TV. I'm on the go, and I actually did this. My wife went to have a haircut just before Christmas when we were allowed to go and do stuff like that, and I was sat in the car waiting for her. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I spun up the Game Pass app on my phone and just started playing Celeste, carrying on from the save that I last had on my
That's
Xbox
pretty cool.
with the little on-screen controls. And it was like, do you know what? And that was playing through cellular as well, through not even on Wi-Fi. That was just on my 4G network. So it was like,
cool.
do you know what? I can get behind this. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Same game save, same game. Yeah.
We might be going a bit too extended on it, but I definitely have so many situations where I find booting up a game on my phone through whether it's Stadia, whether it's GeForce, whether it's remote play. Like, Lydia goes to bed, but she tells me to come with her, but I don't want to go to sleep, so I just boot up.
Yeah.
So I boot
Tonight,
up.
have them playing Destiny.
Well, yeah, or
it's
what
like,
I've been doing
that
recently,
meme, isn't it? Yeah, I bet he's thinking about another woman.
Oh my god,
it's like
so true.
Who's going to be in my fire team when I log on next?
I've actually been booting up FIFA a lot with using the Razer, what's it called, Razer Kio.
Is that the controller thing?
Yeah, the one that makes it like
side,
into a Switch. Yeah. I've been using that a lot and just playing FIFA in bed or remote play off from the PlayStation, which is hooked in with an Ethernet cable. So obviously the connection's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it honestly feels great. But yeah, like I say, wider discussion I'm sure to be had on this.
Totally.
Going on talking about sort of FIFA, isn't Pro Evo going to be on Game Pass?
Yeah, PES is coming to Game Pass.
2021. So if that's streaming, that would be quite a big boon for them. Not that I care about the football, but popular games and everything.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on. Yeah.
So what else have you been playing, Andy? Other than Stadia,
that's it, pretty much.
Just Stadia.
Doom, Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed, and Phoenix.
Cool.
Oh, and I had 10 minutes before we came on. I was having a look at the demo that's just hit for Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh yeah, is that good from what you've played?
It's basically Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
For the Switch.
Cool.
It's basically a reskin of Monster Hunter World for the Switch.
Cool.
It's running off the Re-engine, which is really interesting. So I didn't know that could run on Switch.
I thought that was a cloud-only thing. Speaking of streaming, because obviously they put out that was it Resi 7 cloud version?
They did, yeah. This is a brand new Monster Hunter game for Switch. It's Switch exclusive as well. But it feels like a slightly more condensed version of Monster Hunter World. So the area that I was playing, the map was definitely smaller.
Yeah.
But it was still open world, free roaming. Not quite as populated, not quite as pretty. The foliage wasn't quite there, but it has all the weapons for Monster Hunter World, all the sort of like the visual art styles very similar. It slightly more seems rooted in sort of Japanese sort of mythology and historical sort of style. It's got that sort of, the sort of the painting style that Akami was like.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of, brushstroke style for like the loading screens and stuff like that. So, cool. But yeah, it's worth picking up on if you've never played a Monster Hunter or you've never played Monster Hunter World. It's worth having a look at on the demos on Switch at the moment. And it feels like it's got some interesting things. It's got a grappling hook in it as well, which I don't think was in Monster Hunter World. And yeah, it looks like it could be a good one for Switch owners for this year. A sort of fairly big title coming to Switch. Cool. March, I think it is.
Yeah, so, I know it's coming fairly soon. So
yeah,
cool. What about Nico? We've been playing with this past week or so.
Most of aside from Destiny, because obviously that's always always there. Most of the games I've been playing have been based around stuff I'm doing for the site.
Cool.
So Godfall has been seeing some time. It has its ups and downs so far. That's I won't say too much about it, but I've also been playing a fair amount of FIFA and PES for something that I'm working on too, which I haven't actually spoken to you about yet. But
you heard it here first.
News.
It should be out at some point next week. So after this is out. So yeah, it's more now. We've had a little break. We got the Game of the Year stuff done, and I'm sort of now looking at what's next. So yeah, bit of football stuff, bit of Destiny. Bit of God 4. I think that's it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I've been.
It's like a tenth of the time that Andy has.
I mean, I've been.
I mean, I'll do the content's fine. Don't worry.
I've been
podcast content.
I've been dipping into Game Pass quite a bit over the past couple of weeks, in particular. Obviously, Tetris Effect is Tetris Effect, and Tetris Effect is the best Tetris game ever. So. I will
installed
always
that on my Xbox, but I've not spun it up.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Andy!
I'm a bad person.
You are. You're a bad human.
Yeah.
So basically, I've been playing a lot of that because it's the perfect way to take your mind off everything that's happening in the world.
Everything's awful.
Pretty much, yeah. Apart from Tetris.
Yeah. Opposite of the Lego movie.
I started playing Call of the Sea upon Kieran and Gary's recommendations from the site. We chatted about it in our little.
And me, I recommended it as well.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I thought you didn't mention it when we were talking about everything else you've been playing. So
because I wasn't playing it recently. I was playing it just before Christmas.
So I mean, I started playing it and I couldn't go any further than like 15 minutes. It gave me really, really bad motion sickness. I
think I see where you're coming from with it, because it's got a really ropey frame rate, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's got a really weird field of vision on it.
I think it's the field of view that's causing it. Like when I started with it was there's like that weird watery effect on the screen, and like the very first scene as you're going through the cave, and I thought it was that. I was moving the head around. I was like, this doesn't feel great to me. I mean, the frame rate seemed solid at that point, and I was like, this really doesn't feel good at all. And I felt a little bit weird, a little bit queasy. And then sure enough, the next thing I know, like it's gone into the scene where you're on the boat going to the island, and I was just like moving the head around, going, no, this is not right. Something's no. And then again, played it for another 5 minutes. I thought, no, I'm actually getting really sick, which is a shame because everybody said it's really good.
I quite enjoyed it. Yeah. It's kind of almost like it's got that sort of Myst sort of feel to it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely got
environmental puzzles. And,
I got sort of like a witnessy feel to it as well.
Yeah, but it's got a bit of sort of a weird Lovecraft sort of vibe going with it as well. When you sort of really start getting into it, it's got this weird sort of cosmic, otherworld horror sort of stuff in it. But yeah,
fair enough. Also played a lot of Hot Shot Racing.
Oh, that's bloody good
on the Xbox, and I was not expecting a lot from that, but it's really good.
But it's Sumo Digital, so you should, because they're good.
Sumo are great.
Fantastic racing games.
Like Sumo are great. They made they did Sackboy. They did Sackboy as well.
Did they do Sackboy?
Yes.
Yeah,
they did Sackboy: A Big Adventure, which is why I'm really excited to see what they've got up the sleeves next, because Sackboy's great. Hot Shot Racing's great. I've gotten through most of the tracks now on Expert. I think there's one race in the GPs that I've not quite done, so I'll get there. What else have I been playing? I tried that Lonely Downhill Mountain.
Lonely Mountain Downhill.
That's the one.
That. Yeah. Did you not get on with that?
No, I like it. I downloaded that today and started playing it after I finished at work. So
it's that Game Pass as well.
Yes, that's Game Pass. I'm trying to think. There's so many games. But yeah, Game Pass is just the reason to own an Xbox. I think at this point, it's just so good.
Big new game month, isn't it? The Medium's coming to.
Yes, new game. That's the end of the month, I think. 28th.
Yeah, 28th. I think. Yeah.
I think what's pretty cool about Game Pass as well is I keep getting notifications to my phone telling me which games are leaving, which games are coming, and it's so useful. So I've downloaded a few of the games that are leaving so I can have a play of them before they're gone. But But yeah, such a good way to do it.
Yeah,
I keep meaning to try Greedfall because I've heard reasonable things about that. I think Jess reviewed it for us and was pretty complimentary of it. So
yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have said that Greedfall's worth a try. So again, it's another one to add to the massive, ever-growing backlog list. Like I don't.
Well, this is again, streaming's going to come in useful because you can just think, "What's this game like?" Spin it up on my phone.
Well, I always thought when when Sony made a big deal about acquiring Gaikai, I always thought they'd use that for demos, but that nothing really came of that. I thought that was the best use for it. But anyway, then on the PlayStation side, I've dipped into a bit of FIFA. I've played more Sackboy. I'm taking my time with that. We got it at launch, and then that's kind of been my palate cleanser because it's just lovely. Like that game is just like we'll touch on Game of the Year stuff in a second, but like that, I'm so glad that there was more than one person, more than just me, that had played it to get it in the soundtrack category because. Like there's one level and it's called Coral Reef. So if you're playing Sackboy and you've not played Coral Reef yet, I mean, it's spoilers ahead, but yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's basically just a David Bowie tribute level. Like the whole level is set to Let's Dance, and everything is in time, and it's just like the first time I finished it, I went back and I just played through it twice more because it's so good. So good. What else have I been playing on the PlayStation? I say a bit of FIFA, a bit of Sackboy. I too have delved into Godfall briefly, and I will.
What do you think? Because just generally,
it's out, so you can talk about it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it was one of those things where before launch we had the console and a bit of inside baseball, behind the scenes stuff. We were trying to get hold of a copy, and ultimately it was difficult to get hold of a copy for whatever reason. And then it was I think it was the 23rd. I think it must have been like the 23rd. I think I had an email saying, "Hey, we've got review codes for Godfall. Do you want to do it?" I was like, "Well, it's been out for a month and it's not reviewed particularly well, so." Okay, yeah, we'll give it a go. And like I've only really played about an hour and a half at most, so it's
similar.
Yeah. So I'm not really in a position at the moment to clarify it, but it certainly feels tight enough. But I don't know if
a game.
Yeah, it's a video game. I don't know where the I don't know where the longevity is going to come from. If I'm brutally honest with it. So
yeah,
but I will, I'll keep with it, and I'll see if there's anything else. But the main thing I've been playing has been my PC, and I've played, a bit of Star Wars Squadrons.
Keep meaning to get that.
Yeah, which is I think I picked it up for like £12 on the Epic Store because I had a £10 voucher.
It's been in a few sales, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, I'll pick that up.
There's the 10 hours free on EA Play on Xbox as well.
Yeah. So
I played.
I've got downloaded. I just need to try it.
I think you get the first mission of the campaign and then 10 hours of multiplayer, if I remember rightly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like that game's fun. It's a Star War. I think that's sort of.
It feels kind of like a slightly more complex Rogue Squadron, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, I think that's probably fair. But the main thing that I've been playing and have finished, I finished that Cyberpunk.
You finished that Cyberpunk?
I finished I've seen credits on the Cyberpunk. It was
done the Cyberpunk.
47 hours, I think, in the end. And
is it 47 hours of your life that you want back, or is it?
Of it, I'd probably say there's probably about 3 or 4 of my life that I'd want back from it.
That's not bad.
But this is what I said in the Game of the Year video when I was talking about the disappointment. Is like this is probably going to be somebody's, like several sites are probably going to say this is the biggest disappointment of the year. But I think there's a decent game in there somewhere. Like it's not a 10 out of 10, oh my god, best game ever situation, because there are problems with that game that you will not be able to patch out. Like the technical stuff, the glitches, the bugs, all that stuff you'll probably be able to to patch out in due course. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of still a situation about it all, but to have there are issues in there that I think. My biggest one really would be the kind of the wanted system, and I know that's you sat there going, you sat there going, well, why has a game like this got a wanted system? And to be honest, that like it didn't really bother me throughout the whole game because if you're in a car and you do something, you just drive a block away and then that's it. Like they don't get in a car and chase you, so it just erases your wanted level really quickly.
Yeah. The comparison I heard was that essentially it was worse than the wanted system in like GTA 3.
Yeah, I mean it is like if you're on foot, then they just spawn, like the cops just spawn like 5 meters behind you, no matter where you are, even if you're on top of a skyscraper. Yeah. It's weird. Like the thing is, like there are some massive issues with that game technically, but I think fundamentally there's problems that you're not, like I say, you're not going to be able to patch them out. I thought the story was really good. I thought the characters were really good. There are some.
I'm still interested enough to play it when it comes out for next gen.
Yes, I think that's what a lot of people are saying at the moment. I think the situation with the base console versions has really soured a lot of people on it. Obviously, there's now some lawsuits and all sorts going on, which is just,
who doesn't love a lawsuit?
Yeah, tell me about it. But like, it's a shame because somewhere in that mess of a launch, there's a decent game, and I think there's people that are playing it on PC that wouldn't have had as many problems with it, and are probably looking at it going, okay, that's fine. And I mean, having played all three versions across 6 platforms now. Yeah, 7 platforms. Yeah, I played that game on 7 different platforms now.
Jesus.
Yeah. Admittedly, not for the full 40 odd hours for each one. But like, yeah, the I just don't think the game should have been released on console at this stage. But on PC, it's fine. I mean, it really pushes my hardware. I've got a 3080. I've got a Ryzen 3600. And I am
got a 3080. Ooh.
Andy, kiss my balls.
I can't. We're in lockdown.
that implies that you would if we weren't, which is slightly terrifying. But yeah, like it pushes my hardware. Like I'm running it in with DLSS and ray tracing on, and it just about keeps a 60 frames a second at 4K. So it's the most demanding game I've ever played on this PC.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. But yeah, like on the whole, it's fine. It's a good game that's been plagued with some really big problems. And ultimately, I think it is worth playing. I just think it probably shouldn't have come out when it did.
And temper your expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but that's about it for what we've been playing. Unless there's something that leaps out at me and says, "Oh, what about me?" Don't think so.
You've not been playing Titanfall or anything like that?
I mean, I'm always playing Titanfall, Andy. It was the first game I downloaded to my Series X.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And my PS5 and the Series S.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've managed to get the Series S into the living room now, which is a win for me. I'm going to say.
Nice. Have you actually used it, or is it just sat there?
Yeah, we've used it. We've used it. It's been pretty good fun. So, what is next up? Game of the Year. We did the Game of the Year stuff.
Nico did the Game of the Year stuff. Nico was Game of the Year God. Goatee God.
No. This is a team effort.
God.
It was. No, to be fair, Nico did a hell of a lot of work on that, and it was very much appreciated because in years past, Game of the Year comes around, it kind of consumes me, and after the month that we had in November, I was a bit like, I can't do this again.
I mean, it wasn't just November, let's be honest.
No.
It was a consecutive series of months.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
like it's obviously we gave the Game of the Year was Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
Which I think I probably would have had a fight with anybody that would have tried to take it away from it because it's that good.
I almost did because I shared the video with a Discord server that I'm in. They're like, "Oh, I thought Last of Us Part 2 was rubbish." I'm like, "Did you play it?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, absolutely, it's not rubbish. This is. I'm sure you're getting your information from some people who are not a fan of women." And
yeah,
let's not name any names. Talking about lawsuits.
But yeah, like
it was phenomenal.
Like that game was incredibly special. I think a lot of people weren't happy with the direction that they took with it, but it did enough for me to justify everything they did. Like, it wasn't. I don't think anything that they had in that game was undeserved. It's just the fact that it is it's an incredibly bleak game about a really dark time in history, and it's a game about a global pandemic that's wiped out humanity. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's slightly prescient in 2020.
Thanks for bringing that out last year.
Yeah,
and we also had the new adaptation of The Stand as well. So thanks to content creators for bringing those delightful things to us in 2020 when we really needed them.
Yeah,
I mean, The Last of Us for me, it did something. It made me feel something that at the beginning of the game I almost refused to feel. Like, I refuse to feel a certain way about something. I don't want to do any spoilers in case anyone's not played it and they're watching, but I refuse to feel a certain way. And by the end, I felt it, and I felt it hard.
Yeah. It plays with your emotions quite a lot, that game. But
well deserved.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. What else? Spider-Man Miles Morales was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That also took home the best visuals or best looking game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a cracking looking game.
I think all of the ray traces help that one quite a lot.
Absolutely,
it's a stunning game.
Well, visually. I mean, just when I was capturing the footage for the video, and I put it onto ray tracing 60, and I was just going around just to capture the footage. I'm like, God, it's so good. It's like, it makes it so easy to talk about.
Yeah,
and I
need to get back on that.
You do. You absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I finished it. It's not
going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, I finished it, and then they bought literally the day after I finished the game. They said, "Oh, it's ray tracing 60."
Yeah.
I was like, I've uninstalled it off my PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've still not. I'm going through New Game Plus at the moment, but that's kind of a back burner thing because obviously I've already finished it. So
yeah.
But also the Spider-Man Remastered has had the same treatment put into it, so that now has ray tracing 60. So that's getting a New Game Plus playthrough as well because it's imported my save from the old game. Which
I played I played Remaster and then I played Miles just after, and yeah, so good. I really think that there is value in these shorter games. Yes. I just think they might need to price them slightly lower.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why they didn't for this because it's one of the launch titles, but I was really happy to get through the game, which took 8-9 hours ish. Like, if you don't really do too much of the side stuff, just focus on the story. I was really pleased to get through it in that amount of time because it meant that I could get back to the games that I play more regularly, like FIFA and Destiny at the moment and stuff like that. But I still got to experience this like film-like game.
I think that's kind of where I'm coming from with a lot of stuff at the moment. I mean, particularly like a game like Call of Duty. Like the Call of Duty games every year, they come out and you're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. And then it's like, I'm going to sink hours into the multiplayer and, 3 weeks of my life get taken up by a game that is going to be worthless in 12 months' time. So, but then you look at the campaigns and the campaigns are always, 6-8 hours? And they're just... This year's Call of Duty campaign's actually really good. Like, it loses it a little bit towards the end, but the very last level, or the very last mission, is just batshit brilliant, and you should probably check it out because it's
I've not actually. It's on the list.
It's good fun. But speaking, somebody sent me this earlier, and I need to show you it. I'm hoping that you guys can read that. It's probably backwards.
Can't see it.
Capital building if I have no quest for it.
So this is a Fallout 3 page from GameFAQs. It says, should I be in the Capitol building if I have no quest for it? Hello, I'm a level 12 guy who's getting pretty deep into the Capitol building. I'm concerned maybe I'm not supposed to be poking my head in there yet, and I don't want to ruin a potential future quest.
Is that recent post or is that...
That's from quite a while ago. Someone sent me that today. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Was Fallout 3 set in DC then? I've kind of touched Fallout 3, but it's been a while since I've actually played it. So,
but number 3 in the Game of the Year stuff, while we just wrap that one up, was Animal Crossing, and I think Nico, you
I thought for that one. I thought for it.
I think we were, I think me and Andy were kind of keen to put Ori in there.
I think Animal Crossing it's not a game that I put a lot of time in, even though it featured on my list. But I think from just a general kind of perspective of 2020, Animal Crossing was a tremendously important game that came out, and I think it connected a lot of people together at a time when they needed it. And I think it was actually a genuine surprise for Nintendo, even that it was as popular as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it deserves to be up there.
Yeah, I think the thing as well is like we had some snarky comments about why we put Call of Duty in the top 10, and that was exactly why. Like Warzone was in the top 10, number one, because Warzone came out last year, which feels ridiculous because it feels like that game has been out forever.
It's because it's Call of Duty. It's been out forever.
Yeah, that's true. But like, secondly, that was kind of our social hub. Like me and a group of friends, we use Call of Duty as like instead of going to the pub. Like we'll get a text now saying anyone up for Warzone tonight. So okay, cool, we'll jump on that. And it's like that's what has been forced on things in 2020, and that's kind of why this was that was in our list. But so that was our Game of the Year stuff. We've obviously got the videos up now. Go check them out. There's 3 parts, and there's parts up on the site as well. The write-ups went live a little bit later than I was wanting to because 2020,
Christmas.
lockdown, Christmas.
Do you know what? Stuff. I'm finding it hard to write at the minute. I really am.
Well, you get a pen and you put it in your hand.
Yeah, shut up. You know what I mean. It's really tough to sit down and just go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that? Are you finding?
I've had those moments.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think it ends up you just need to find something that that sparks the interest a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
this is good. I like this. This is fine. We can do more of this.
So we'll move into the news.
News.
So the first bit of news that we have is pretty mad. Epic Games bought a shopping centre.
Them loot crates.
Yeah.
So they can sell them.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's basically to kind of turn into an office.
Yeah, it's the office space,
Yeah, so it's not like they're not just buying it to turn into like real life Fortnite or whatever, which I did see some people saying, that's what we're going to do.
Don't tell my youngest that he will be. Okay, so if they don't call it Mega Mall, they'll be stupid. That's a Fortnite reference. I had to Google it though. I knew there was a mall in Fortnite.
But that map changes
then you got very quiet.
too much. I have no idea anymore.
It's mad. I mean,
how much space do they need though?
They just need to
I
stop
remember when
it.
they were the Unreal guys.
All the lawyers to fight Apple.
We've touched a nerve. We've touched a nerve. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a 980,000 square foot site. That's going to be their new campus, and it will be open in 2024. So
Nico. Look, I need some new Star Wars and Marvel content. Let's not start down that road. I need to know there's at least hope.
So next bit of news, Next Level Games. They did that Luigi's Mansion.
Which is a good game.
It's a good game, Luigi's Mansion 3. And they've now been bought by Nintendo. Which is news that if you'd have told me, I would have probably thought they already did.
They do seem like they're sort of more like a retro game, sort of like more of the second party, isn't it? They call them, where they're still sort of independent, but they're owned by the publisher.
Yeah, it's kind of like that that Insomniac relationship before Sony bought them.
I mean, maybe it's naive of me, but I thought all Nintendo games were done by Nintendo.
I mean, obviously, it'll fall under that Nintendo banner, but you've obviously got the studios within there, so they've got like Retro. That's the only other studio that I know that's from Nintendo.
Retro,
more than I know.
Yeah, no, sorry, my brain's gone as well. There are a couple of others though that they own. Is Monolith that do Xenoblade?
Is that a Nintendo studio?
I think it is.
Oh, okay, there you go then.
I think.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. Sort of like it's interesting what you said, Nico. Sort of like you think Nintendo games are done by Nintendo, but there are a surprising amount that's sort of sent off to other studios. Like their second biggest title last year was Hyrule Warriors, wasn't it? That was done by Namco. Was it Namco? No, it's Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo, yeah.
Koei Tecmo, because it's a Warriors game, isn't it?
Yes.
Effectively, yeah. And a couple of the older Zelda Game Boy games, the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, was done by Capcom.
Oh. Okay.
All companies. So.
Really? So that
There you go,
I find very interesting.
I mean, I think it obviously all falls under that like publisher banner, doesn't it, for Nintendo?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, as I said, it was kind of surprising that they weren't already bought by Nintendo, but this is great for them, and obviously great for Nintendo, because Luigi's Mansion, as we said, was a good, enjoyable game. Enjoyed the hell out of that.
I started playing that before Christmas as well. Good.
Luigi's Mansion 3?
Yeah.
You should save that for Halloween, mate.
Well, I got it like I was when Paper Mario came out last year, and they were doing that buy 2 games get a bit of a discount on them.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I picked up that and Paper Mario, and then Luigi's Mansion sat on my console. I had all good intentions of playing it at Halloween. Never did, because lockdown seems to suck all your free time away. For some reason, I have no idea why. And then came to Christmas. I was like, oh, I want to play Assassin's Creed. This is when I was still playing Odyssey. What I got to play? I'll play Luigi's Mansion. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion.
I've not played it since.
I mean, to be fair, it's a solid game. I've still not finished it, but I enjoyed the time I spent with it. I probably will do it at some point, as you say. Lockdown.
Yes.
Why not? There was something else about it that I was going to say. While we were talking about that, I sort of looked back at my Switch games on my shelf, and I realised Johnny's still got my copy of bloody Link's Awakening.
Johnny's still got my copy of Jedi Fallen Order as well on PS4.
Oh, that's how it is it? Right. If you're listening, Markwell.
It's because he won't come out to bring him back. He doesn't want to step outside of his front door.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, I don't either, so we're going to be a bit fucked in this instance.
I live around the corner from him. I'll go and punch his door in again, bring him back.
I would like to see you try doing that, just for the hilarity of it, to be fair.
He's going to hold me to that now when he listens to this, isn't he?
Well, it'll prove if he listens to it.
Yeah.
So, next bit of news is about Minecraft Earth, which is the Pokemon Go sort of esque game that came out from Minecraft. That's been shut down at the end of June.
It's dead.
Yeah.
In here.
Dead.
That didn't last long.
No, and the thing is with that,
I'm surprised.
I seem to remember it taking a hell of a long time to actually get to any point where it was coming out.
Did you read the reasoning they gave it?
Is it because people can't leave their fucking house?
Yes, basically that's what they said, is that the reason that they gave was this game relies on people being able to move around and interact with each other and the surroundings. Because people can't do that anymore, we are taking our team members off that and focusing them on Minecraft core, because that's what people are playing.
Okay. I suppose that's not too bad. And I did see Nico just cheekily mute his mic there as Rocky got involved.
I was going to say, we need some Rocky action.
There's going to be running around in a moment. So
Next Gen Hound.
Bless him.
Next Gen Hound.
It used to be Matt's dog, didn't it? It used to be
Next Gen Gaming Dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so, I mean, Minecraft Earth, I get it, but I think at the same time, Pokemon Go's done quite a lot with...
They made so many changes to accommodate. And clearly... Minecraft didn't want to do those changes, because we've seen it's possible. You just have to, without sounding awful, you just have to make the game really easy.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's what your priorities are, isn't it? I mean, Niantic basically do that kind of game, and that's all they do. Whereas Microsoft and the Minecraft team are like, well, we've got resource here,
Yeah.
that we could put to use here. And I know there's a lot of big, I know because I've been having it in the ear from the kids, like, oh, have you heard about the new things that are coming to Minecraft this year? And apparently there's some big stuff coming to Minecraft this year. So presumably they've pulled all the resources on to making sure that that is solid stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And doesn't break everyone's switches like apparently the last update did.
I still need to play Minecraft properly. Like, I've never... It's one of the biggest games in the world, and I just can't be arsed with it.
I played a little bit, but only with
Yeah.
my 12-year-old goddaughter.
Right, okay.
And honestly, I felt so old. It was unreal.
I feel like
The
I
most
should play it because,
Yeah.
like, I've got one of those fancy graphics cards, and it can do the ray tracing, and apparently that's one of the...
And it does look
To be
incredible.
fair, it looks amazing, but I'm just like... But I
The
don't
most
wanna
I've ever
play
played
it.
was because I bought it on my Switch for the kids to play. We were on holiday once and I was bored, so I sat trying to recreate one of the Dark Souls locations in Minecraft just as an experiment to see. Because it was a location that I could kind of visualize from memory. I was like, oh, let's see what I can do. Sort of play around with this.
Ben's got PTSD.
I'm just thinking that at this point in the video, if I haven't already, I'm just going to cut the video and put that bit from The Simpsons where Homer drives up to the college in his car, just leans out the window and just yells, "Nerd!" Jesus Christ.
Well.
But yeah, so Minecraft Earth is no more as of June the 30th. Have they
It's a
said
dead
that?
one.
I mean, have they said that they are? The app will no longer be playable and player data will be deleted. Okay.
Wow.
Yep, it's going.
So they are completely killing it and never coming back, which I think is probably a bit surprising because at some point we're going to be allowed out of house again.
I think they're dumping all the stuff that they built that they were going to release. I think they're just chucking everything that's playable onto the game now for the next few months. And just saying go crazy. And then it's like, but at the end of March, it's all getting binned off.
June.
Soz, mate.
End of June.
I guess it shows that that probably wasn't doing very well and they just needed an excuse.
An excuse to get rid of it, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But if you're playing that, fair play, you've got to the end of June, go build a fucking skeleton in your garden or something. Yes. I said June about 5 times.
It's not going to be a skeleton, is it? Let's be honest.
No, it'll be a penis.
Of course it will.
Massive.
Give a person a wall and a pen, and what are they going to draw on it?
50-foot dong in my back garden.
Then you'll play Minecraft Earth. Hey.
I think there we go. We've got a podcast title: 50-foot garden dong.
Hey.
Oh dear. Anyway, next week. Next week, we have that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is free on the Epic Games Store on PC. That's not
a good game.
It's a good game.
Despite having a terrible launch.
Yeah. I think they've managed to turn a lot of it around. I've not played too much since... Well, I've not played for at least a year, but...
I mean, it was really cool. Some really cool multiplayer, like massive multiplayer stuff in that. But yeah.
Yeah, I hope that they can, I hope they've kept it going as well as a lot of people thought they would have done.
I heard it's been supported well.
Yeah, so we'll see. So if you want to get that on the go, it's free on Epic Games Store next week. There was a really weird story this week about Microsoft and the Xbox and the controller and why it still uses AA batteries.
My favourite story. I love it.
I'm pulling up the thing now, and if you're watching the video, I apologise because for some reason my mouse cursor stays on the screen, even though I'm trying to get rid of it. But yeah, there was an interview with Stealth Optional, and they said there's always been this partnership with Duracell and Xbox. It's a constant agreement that Duracell and Microsoft have in place. The deal is for Duracell to supply the battery product for the Xbox consoles and also the controller batteries. So that deal is going to go on for a while. It's been going on for a while, and I think it needs to go for a while more. Please say for a while a bit more. So
is that like that they always pack in Duracell batteries with the
yes,
with the Xbox and the controllers?
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know where that then sort of it took that quote and then it kind of went. It's because of Duracell that they use AA's, and I think reading back on it, you go, well, no, they want to have AA's in the controller, so they've partnered with Duracell to do that. And not Energizer, for example. So it's the partnership is with Duracell to provide the AA's for the controller.
I suppose until that partnership ends, if they wanted to move to
rechargeables, I'm sure they could do. Because the Elite controller is rechargeable, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I wonder what the price overhead is for including rechargeable batteries in a controller.
I can't imagine it's much.
I mean, considering it's only Microsoft. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a strange one, but yeah, like I said, the Elite controller comes with the rechargeables and everything else. So it's that was just a really weird story that kind of picked up a bit of traction this past week for whatever reason, and it turns out it's not actually true anyway. So
internet, there you go. We'll find out that the entirety of 2020 was a lie as well.
I mean, I'd quite like that at this point. To be brutally honest with you,
the new consoles they can stay.
They can stay, yeah. They can stay.
Yeah.
But then the final bit of news this week: if you have played Nier Automata or Nier Automata or Nier Automata, however you want to pronounce it, there was a secret that Yoko Taro was talking about for a while, and he basically said there's one more secret in the game. Nobody's ever found it.
So cool.
So yeah, it's a big secret. You're going to be struggling to find what it is. Turns out it's a cheat code. Somebody reverse engineered the game and
old school cheat code.
Yeah, it's a proper old school cheat code. If you put the cheat code in, it took 3 years and 10 months basically for the cheat code to be discovered. But what happens is you put it in. And then it takes you, if I'm reading this correctly, it allows you to skip to the last ending immediately after killing the first boss and unlock all of the bonus modes.
I love it.
So
that's old school. That is old school. Yeah. Proper cheat code.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So essentially, obviously, there's a lot of stuff with Nier Automata that is, you have to play through it more than once. You have to do an awful lot of stuff. But yeah, there's just like one little thing in the game. It's like cheat code. There you go. Bang! You're through to the last. You're through to the final ending as soon as you beat the first boss.
Yeah,
brilliant. So, I'm sure people will probably be giving that a go.
Just real classic stuff. I just love it.
Yeah, it's mad, but
still not played Nier Automata.
Well, if you want to, you can finish it very quickly.
Yeah. You can get the ending screen pretty quick.
I can, yeah. I know Johnny played it for us, and he rated it really well, didn't he?
He reviewed it, yeah. Yeah, he reviewed it. So
I keep meaning to play it. It's my kind of game, but it's like one of those that I've just never got round to.
No, it's not your kind of game because this is good. But you'll be happy to know, Andy, I've still not played that much more Demon's Souls because I don't hate myself that well. I do hate myself.
But you were enjoying it. You could start. You were starting. I could see it. It's like the wheels were turning. It was starting. The penny was starting to fall through the mechanism. It was going to drop, and then you got scared and you walked away.
No, there was some bullshit that happened.
What? The game decided to challenge you?
No. I don't mind a challenge, but there's some bullshit in that game.
Was it the King's Path? The ramparts?
Yeah. I think
that level has, I don't know what they've done to it, but yes, that whole area is rough in the remake.
Sorry, was that you agreeing with me in claiming that that area might be bullshit?
I think the thing is, do you know about the world tendency stuff?
Yeah, what is all that about?
Okay, so
no, actually, don't bother. We've been going for an hour, and I don't need this one to go for another hour.
fine. It's fine. You don't want to be like that.
It's all right. I tell you what. At some point,
you could go. You go and play it, but you go into some of the other worlds and try some of those bits as well.
We'll have a special podcast, which is
do a multiplayer.
Andy
Me
explains.
And you will do a stream.
Yeah,
no,
Andy explains Demon Souls to
stream.
Ben, while Ben tries not to hurl his PS5 controller through his TV.
Let's do that. Let's do a stream, and I'll walk you through some Demon Souls.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Ben's rethinking his life.
I'm suddenly reconsidering all of my choices that have led me up to this point in my life.
Why did I say I do that?
Well, Game Blast's coming. No.
24-hour Demon Soul run.
Oh, mate,
Socially distanced.
I'd kill somebody. Like I would legitimately. I'd go mad. I would legitimately go mad.
So my cat's just appeared.
Oh, bless her. Right. Well, I think that's probably the harbinger of the apocalypse of the podcast, isn't it?
Oh, bless her. Come in, you can guest star. You're not a harbinger of anything. There she is.
Oh.
There she is.
She's going to turn it off. I don't know how, but she's going to turn it off.
Touchscreen, all she has to do is...
Yeah, that's true, actually. You see, my cat would just come in
No one wants to see your ass on.
Are you telling me or the cat?
Both.
Okay.
That's going to play really well on the audio version of this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's a fair point. So I think that's probably a good spot to end it, given that Andy's just scolded me and the cat for wanting to show our bum holes off. So thanks for joining me, guys. This has been emotional. It's been emotional.
It's been real.
The first video podcast in some time.
Yes.
It's been some time.
Yes.
Primarily because it was a fucking ball ache before. Like,
well, let's hope it's not a pain for you to do this time.
Well, it's not, because like basically what I'm doing is I'm recording the video feed now, and then I'm going to edit it later and stick some fancy shit over the top of it, as opposed to doing it all in real time.
Well, there you go.
So anyway, yes,
like some kind of video DJ.
Oh, I played Fuser as well. That's a game I've been playing.
Oh, Jed, I got Fuser as well. That's really good.
Yes, Fuser's really good. You should play really Fuser. Good. Fuser's great.
Yeah.
And that's a good point to round off the podcast with what we've been playing again. So, like, subscribe, and share all that stuff.
Share.
You know, stay safe and don't trespass on government property and all of that stuff.
Wear a mask.
Don't
Wear
be
a
an
mask.
arsehole.
Yeah, don't be. Just basically, don't be a dick. Like,
that helps.
Like,
it's the NGB mantra, isn't it?
Yeah, like just don't be a dick. Unless it's about Demon Souls.
Go away.
Bye!
Bye!